Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Hellboy, the Crooked Man. We've got the first reviews actually, and they're not horrendous. They're not horrendous, which is good. It's pretty mixed, but it's mixed to positive, which is great. This is great news. You know, maybe this is what Hellboy needed. Less budget, better, tighter story, less sort of theatrics, and get down, I guess, less Marvel. It's not fair to say that Hellboy was Marvel-y, is it really? Because it was before it. But you get my point, right? Less of that style, more horror. Maybe this is what it needed. So we're going to take a look at this, ladies and gents, today. So please do hit subscribe if you're new here. And yeah, let's just dive into it. Sorry about that weird glitch there as well. My board's not working. So anyway, there's no review embargo, right? There's none at all. And the movie's going to be released anyway. Well, it's going to be released somewhere, sometime, somehow. You'll have to check your territory for that. I know it's getting a UK release in theatres, if I remember rightly. And I think it has secured a US release now. But here's a bunch of the reviews. So, as this article notes, they're mixed, yeah. But they are mixed to positive. So, not bad. A lot of the outlets haven't given their review, but yeah, it's sounding actually okay. So the Hollywood Handle gave it a 1.5 out of 5. So again, mixed, but mixed positive. So we'll get to the positive ones. And it just says that the Hellboy the Crooked Man initially gives the impression through its first act and part of the second that it knows its place and embraces its trashy style. However, the movie soon abandons its fearful elements, opting instead for a dull, serious, and somewhat pretentious approach. Interesting. I feel like to understand that review, you have to watch the movie. So Total Film give it a 3 out of 5. And they say that while Taylor's film descends into a couple of extended set-piece battles, some sore thumb CGI amid the largely practical effects, and the odd gimmicky edit are further impediments, plenty here to celebrate. So they actually quite liked it. And they also go on to say that there's apparently enough to leave you hoping that Taylor makes good on his plan to revisit Hellboy in the 60s, 70s and 80s. I mean, if it's good enough to want more, that's pretty good. You know, that's, yeah, pretty bloody good. So Dexato gave it, again, a 3 out of 5. And says, Hellboy the Crooked Man is a very different kind of Hellboy, being smaller and cheaper than what's come before. But that's enabled Mike Mignola to tell a big red story on his terms. Quote, that definitely works in the film's favour, as unlike Hollywood's recent comic book movies, there are no characters or sequels being set up, and no multiverse confusion to explain, which gives the movie laser-like focus. So just, hey, this is a story. Enjoy, basically. We can do more if you like it. Kind of sounds like it. Starburst, I don't even know who they are. But they give it a 3 out of 5. And they specifically liked Jack Kesey, who, you know, looks like this. I don't particularly like the way he looks, to be honest. But they praised him for doing good work as Hellboy. And said that what the Crooked Man lacks in blockbuster bombast, this ambitious comic book adaptation makes up for with gothic chills and bloody action straight out of an Evil Dead film. Now, it is supposed to be quite gothic-y. That is the point of Hellboy. Especially this comic. Like, this particular comic is supposed to be like that. And they continued further and says, for all its budgetary constraints, it's refreshing to see a film take an iconic comic book character and do something that's so small in scale, but essentially true to the spirit of the big guy. That's great. I think that's really good, actually. That's not bad at all. Anyway, I thought we would go over to the interwebs to take a look as well. MSN. Hellboy. Scroll down here, sorry. Hellboy. No, zoomed right in. Hellboy the Crooked Man review, the closest big screen version yet to the comics. Again, this will be music to a lot of people's ears, genuinely. Just a quick one. If Neil Marshall's 2019 Hellboy had you seeing red, then this rendition of director co-writer Brian Taylor, will come as something of a relief. It's the closest big screen adaptation version yet. To the Dark Horse comics, blah, blah, blah. Mike Mignola had a sizable hand in penning the screenplay and favours gruff and rough over the poetry of Del Toro's lovingly crafted noughties movies. I mean, that sounds good. Like, people, again, it's... people don't hate it. People don't hate it. They don't hate it at all. I think this is actually the same... It sounds like the same review, which I... Well, part of it. They'd used part of it gruff and tough. Here is the Total Film one, which I think may be the one which MSN was referencing, which is quite weird, to be honest. This is the MSN one, which we've just taken a look at. How bizarre that they basically had exactly the same review. Not quite understanding why that is. But yeah, people seem to like it, it seems. Like, it's actually getting pretty good reviews. Again, mixed, but mixed to positive, which is nothing but... That's not a bad thing, to be fair. That's pretty decent, all things considered. Apparently my web browser has frozen, so yay to stupid adverts. But yeah, there's not a hell of a lot of reviews coming in. But a lot of it's good. A lot of it is good. So there you go. Mixed, but mixed to positive. I have taken a look over on Rotten Tomatoes. There's only 2 reviews in there. There's no score available yet. One was positive, which was the Starburst magazine one, which we'd already taken a look at. And one was negative, which was just a singular outlet, some individual basically reviewing it. So there you go. Closest big screen version yet to the comics. Which a lot of people will believe that, because if they watch the trailer and they're a fan of the comic, they'll go, looks like the comic. So, I mean, it makes sense that it would be the closest version yet. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for this? Are you not? The first trailer they released was terrible. Second trailer, I was like, this actually looks good. I'm actually interested in it. So, yeah, it's interesting stuff. I mean, I will watch this, if I can, when I can, give you a review of it. So, yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.